A man gives 20% of his properties to his son, 50% of the remainder to his wife, 30% of the left out property to each of his two daughters, and the balance for the charity. If he provides rupees 20,000 for charity, find total value of his properties. So that is the question. Okay. Now, coming to the solution, we started with total value of his property and then we came until the daughter's property share, right? Let us resolve it again from first. So firstly, we will be considering the total value of the property to be 100. Now, since it's a percentage, always starting with 100 and then calculating the percentage would be the better way to do it. Okay. Now here, the total value of the property, if we consider it to be 100, so let us consider the total value. So let the total value of his properties be 100. Next, how much did son get? Son has got 20% of the property. So son got 20%. Now, if the total property was 100, so 20% of 100, 100 into 20%. Okay, that will give us 20. So 20% of 100 will give us 20. So what is the balance that is left out? Balance that is left out is 80. 100 minus 20 will give us 80. Now next, this was the first part. Now the next one is 50% of it, of the remainder to his wife. Now what is the remainder? Remainder is nothing but the balance. So we have 80. Now in this 80, 50% has to be given to the wife. 50% of the balance property. So now next will be wife got 50% of remainder, which means out of 80 we are calculating 50%. So out of 80, if it is 50%, it means it is 40. So what is the balance that is remaining? Remaining balance is 40. Okay. Now after this is the second part. Now the third part, 30% of the left out property to each of his two daughters. Until that we will find 30% of the left out property. Left out property is the remaining balance, whatever is there. From this property, 30% will be given to one daughter, other 30% will be given to the other daughter. So he has two daughters, which is mentioned here. So if each of them is getting 30%, it means totally 60% of 40 will be given to the daughters. Okay. So the next one is two daughters got 30% each. 30 plus 30, 60%. So 60% of what? Remaining is 40. In that 40, if you get 60%, so that will be 40 into 60% will be 24. So 40 minus 24, the balance left out is 16. Okay, balance left out is 16. Now if you see the question, the balance is for the charity. So 16 is the balance which is left out. The 16 is the balance which is left out, and that will be given for charity. Now, if he provides rupees 20,000 for charity, find the total value of his properties. Okay. Now, we started with 100%. 20% was given to son. 40%, that is 50% of the remainder was given to wife. Then again, 30% was given to one daughter, 30% was given to the other daughter. Now, what is remaining with us? This 16. For 16, if he is giving it to the charity, provided to charity, and there is another information in question which says 20,000 was given to charity. Rupees 20,000 was given to charity. So, in return, it means that for 16, this 16 balance, whatever we got, if this is for charity of rupees 20,000, if this is for charity of rupees 20,000, now for 100, what will be the total value? Let us take it as X. Now I hope you know how to do the cross multiplication. For 16, if you have the amount of 20,000, for 100, what will be the total value? Now, if you consider the cross multiplication, for 16, it is 20,000. For 100 is X. Do the cross multiplication. So, 16 into X is equal to 20,000 into 100. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will give us 20 lakhs is equal to 16x. So x is equal to 20 lakhs divided by 16. Therefore, x is equal to how much? Can anybody say me the value? 20 lakh by 16, how much do you get? You will finally get 1,25,000. So this will be the total value of the property of the man. So write the conclusion. Therefore, the total value of his property is rupees 1,25,000. This is the complete answer. Understood? Any doubts in here? Any problem you want me to repeat, or any part of the problem you want me to repeat? Now the next chapter is simple interest. Now this is the interest which is calculated on the principal amount. So first we have to understand what is that interest or what is that principal. Now interest is the reward. Okay. Interest is the reward or consideration. It is the reward or consideration for using the money. For using the money, we pay some reward or consideration which is known as interest. Okay, let's take an example. There is a bank. There is a bank. Now this bank will have customers. Okay, where customers will keep their money in the bank, where they will get, where the bank will pay them 4% interest. Money is gone to the bank. Bank will give the customer 4% interest. Now, why should bank give the interest? Because the bank is using the money of the customer. That is why they are giving the interest. Now, for what reason the bank can use the money? The bank can use this money and it can give loan to other people, other companies. It can be a company or an individual. So they will give the loan to them, right? So bank is taking money from the normal people. It is giving loan to others. It is using the same money and it's giving loan to others. Now, when they give loan, these people has to pay back interest. Why they have to pay the interest? Because they are using the bank's money. So that is why they are supposed to pay the interest. Clear? So interest is the reward or consideration for using up the money. So loan people will pay the interest to the bank because they are using the money, and bank will pay the interest to the customer because they are using their money. So that is the concept of interest. Now here, there are few important things that you'll have to understand is, whenever the interest is involved, there are few terms which has to be understood. Firstly, principal. Principal is the money that is given or taken as a loan. Now, when bank gives loan to the people, the amount, let's say bank has given loan to A for 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs has been taken as loan from bank. So this 5 lakhs is the principal and it is denoted by capital P. Now the next thing is time. For how much time is the loan taken? Simply we cannot give, right? You'll have to ask them for the time. For how much time do you want? Which means I will give you 5 lakh rupees now. When will you pay me back the amount? That time can be 2 years, 5 years, 15 years. So that is the time. It can be even 2 days, 5 days, 10 days also. So time is denoted by T. Then R. Because you are using the money, this 5 lakhs I cannot simply give you because you're using the money. While you're giving back the money, you should also pay me some extra amount for using this 5 lakhs. So what is that money will you give me back for using the 5 lakhs? That reward or consideration that you will give for using my money will be the interest percentage, which is called as rate. Which is called as rate of interest. So these are the important points or terminologies which you have to understand when it comes to interest. So the formula of the interest is calculated on the principal. The amount, the percentage of interest is calculated on the principal. Now, if I am talking about simple interest is nothing but directly on principal. When I calculate the amount, principal into interest percentage into time, if I calculate, this is simple interest. Very simple formula of calculating interest is called simple interest. On original principal amount, if I calculate the interest, Yes, PTR by 100, correct. That is called as simple interest. Okay. Now, there is one more thing called as amount. There is one more terminology called as amount. Now, amount is nothing but principal. The original amount of the loan, right? Principal okay, there's a little lag in the screen. So when it comes to amount, the another terminology that you have to understand is amount. Now, amount is nothing but principal of the loan plus the interest we are going to pay over a period of time. Suppose if we have taken 10,000 rupees loan, this is the principal amount. Plus, let's say we are paying interest of 4%. Example, okay? Interest of 4% is being paid. Now, the final amount that you're going to pay is called as amount, which is usually written as A. So the formula for amount is principal plus interest. Is it clear? Did you all understand until here? Any doubts? Okay. Now let us go to simple interest. Now simple interest, I'm sure you already know the formula PTR by 100. So we are going to use that formula. First, let's define the formula and then we'll be using the formula. So simple interest is the interest calculated on the original principal amount. Okay. And the formula is PTR by 100. P is the principal, T is the time or time period, both you can say, and R is the rate of interest. Okay, so that is the formula for simple interest. So we shall be solving few simple interest problems today. And one thing that where you will have to be very careful is the time period, because sometimes they will give it in days, sometimes in months, sometimes in minutes, hours, very rarely, but then days and months is what that will be given. So you'll have to be careful in the conversion of days to months or months to days and then solve the problem. Okay, so shall we start solving the problem? Now the first question, find the simple interest on rupees 10,000 for 7 years at 5% per annum. Per annum will be given as P dot A. So we are supposed to find the simple interest on 10,000 rupees for 7 years. They're keeping the money for 7 years with 5% interest. Now, the best thing to always solve such problems is by defining what is given to us. So first write down solution. First write down what is given to us. Given principal amount, that is the loan amount is rupees 10,000 and then PTR, right? So time, what is the time given to us? 7 years. PTR, R, that is rate of interest. R is 5% per annum. Now, one more thing where students get confused is, should you take 5% or should you take 5 by 100, 0.05? Consider only one part or only one type of the percentage. Don't mix up both of them. So what is the easy way for you to always maintain is, just take the direct number, that is 5. I'll say you what is the reason. Let us write the formula. Simple interest is equal to PTR by 100. Okay. Now, principal is 10,000 into 7 years. Now, since there is no years and months together, yeah, correct, Aina, 3,500 is correct. Wait. So, since it is 7 years, write full 7 years. Now, when it comes to interest, take 5. Don't take 0.05. Why? Because there is a division by 100. Okay. Please understand this. This is where many of them will go wrong. If you take PTR directly, then you can take it at 0.05. Since you will stick to the formula, consider the rate as 5% directly. Okay, consider the rate as 5% directly. Did you all understand? Okay. Now, when you calculate this amount, it will come to rupees 3,500, and that will be the simple interest. So, therefore, simple interest is rupees 3,500. That's all. Simple. 2 marks questions. Understood? Any doubts? Okay. Now moving on to the next question. We'll solve one more similar question. How much interest will be earned on rupees 2,000 at 6% simple interest for 2 years? So we are supposed to calculate the interest here. Again, simple interest. We have to define what is PTR, and then we have to calculate the interest amount. Let us do it. Solution. Always write what is given in the question. So given principal is rupees 2,000. T, time is 2 years. R, rate is 6%. And we have to find out simple interest. So write the formula. Again, please write the formula for each and every question. That is compulsory. So PTR by 100. P is 2,000 principal, into time is 2 years, into rate is 6%, divided by 100. Can you say me what is the simple interest that you have calculated? ₹240. Good. Rupees 240. So this will be the final answer. Okay. Now the next question. Since these are simple questions, I'm solving more of them. 2,000 rupees is deposited in a bank for 2 years at simple interest. I'll write it as SI, simple interest of 6.5%. How much will be the balance at the end of 2 years? So 2000 rupees is being deposited in a bank for 2 years at a simple interest of 6.5%. So they've kept 2000 rupees where it is kept for a, yeah, okay, you're giving me the simple interest value, Inas, 260. So this 2000 is kept in the bank for 2 years with 6.5% interest. Now they're asking what is the total amount that we will get at the end of 2 years. Yeah, correct, Inas. The answer is right for the interest. Now let us start solving this. Now what is given to us? P, that is 2000 rupees. T, that is time, is 2 years. R, which is 6.5%. Okay. So the simple interest, write the formula. Simple interest, PTR by 100. So which is 2000 into 2 into 6.5. Take it as 6.5 directly. Divided by 100. How much do you get? Rupees 260. So this is the simple interest. Now read the question. Correct, Bhavya. Answer is right. Read the question. How much will be the balance at the end of 2 years? So we have to say them the total amount at the end of 2 years. Now when you have to calculate the total amount, it means you have to calculate the amount at the end of 2 years is equal to principal plus interest. So we had kept 2000 rupees in the bank for 2 years at 6.5% per annum, right? So the interest came up to 260 rupees. So therefore, the total amount will be 2260 rupees. This is the total amount that we will get at the end of 2 years. Understood? Is it clear? Okay. Now, shall we solve one more problem, similar one? Now, the next question. Find the simple interest on rupees 570.25 for 2.5 years at 3.33% per annum. Also, find amount at the end of 2.5 years. Now, whenever they say find the amount, you have to find amount is equal to principal plus interest. Okay. Now, with the same technique, let us solve it. Write down what is given to you. So they have given us principal. Find the simple interest on 570.25. So that is the principal amount. Principal is 570.25. 0.25 for 2.5 years. So what is the time? Time is 2.5 years. So 2.5, you can write it as 2.5 years, right? And then rate of interest. Rate of interest is 3.33%. Now, since we have all the information, let us calculate the simple interest. So simple interest is PTR by 100, 570.25. Since you have decimals, be little careful. Into time is 2.5 years into rate is 3.33 divided by 100. Now, can you say me what is the simple interest that you get? Simple interest will be rupees 47.47. Did you multiply it with 100, Inas? Bhavya, your answer is right. Don't multiply it with 100. Divided by 100, you get 47.47. 2 decimals is enough. If you require, you can take 4 decimals also. No problem with that. Okay. So the simple interest is 47.47. But the question they have asked, we have to find out the amount also. So amount at the end of 2.5 years is equal to principal plus interest. So what was the principal? 570.25 plus 47.47. How much do you get? Amount will be rupees, correct, 617.72. This will be the amount at the end of 2.5 years. Understood? Is it clear? Any doubts? Everybody understood? Okay. So we shall stop here for today and we'll continue tomorrow.